Yes, viewers, you're most welcome on our program. Watch, listen, and learn. So we have come back with Mr. Regan, and we are still on self-esteem. We want to exhaust it. So, Mr. Regan, thank you so much for coming back.
My pleasure.
You know, the other time when we shared about self-esteem, there's a lot you talked about, and people, they were ready and they were alert to hear about self-esteem. So today, we have a question that is pondering in our hearts and also in our mind. We as human beings, is it that self-esteem, is it a disease or something which is it okay? Let me maybe call it a disease that has led many of the people to stay behind.
Now, thank you so much once again.
Yes.
I will start like this. Self-esteem is a very fundamental issue. It plays a very fundamental role in someone's life, that it shapes each and everything in an individual. Because when we look at self-esteem, we have healthy self-esteem, or what many people call high self-esteem,
Okay.
and then the low self-esteem. And then when
You mean that there are two things?
Yes, of course.
There's self high and the self low.
Yeah, it must, if it is not balanced, or if it is not enough, then we can call it low.
It is interesting.
For example, if someone is not confident in themselves, that one can be low. And then we have what we call the healthy self-esteem, or what they call the high self-esteem. I don't want to call it high self-esteem for one reason, because if it also becomes so high, then it will lead to arrogancy and some other things like, yeah, you get. So it must be healthy. Someone must be confident enough, because you can find someone that is overconfident and they have no wisdom to accept positive criticism, to learn. You get. That's why I wanted to call it healthy.
He is all knowing.
Yeah, I want to call it a healthy self-esteem instead of high self-esteem. Then we have the low self-esteem. And like I said, it is very fundamental because everything rotates there.
Okay.
It rotates on the self-esteem of an individual.
Okay.
Do you know there are people who don't have a no in their mouth? Because they don't have a no. They are like people pleasing.
Okay.
You get? Everything they are told, they must accept it, even if it is not in their favor, even if it does not give them peace, because they are people pleasing. They want
or they fear. There are people who they fear to say no because they don't want to hurt someone.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. They fear to say no because they don't want to hurt someone. They feel like they will be important in someone's life if they say yes. They feel like that is the only thing that can validate them in some other person's life. So they don't have a no in their mouth. They don't, and they forget that when you don't have a no, you even do things that are against your peace. You get. You even take in things that are not on your level. Because for you feel like if you say a no, they are going to take you otherwise.
So that means that you cannot decide whether this is I want to go this way or I don't want to go this way.
No, for them they are people pleasing. They want to please people, and you might see it as an easy thing, or you might see it as an issue which has no an effect on an individual, but it has very many effects. Because for you, you will only want to please people against your own peace, against your own favor. You can do anything for any other individual apart from you, because you want to please them. In every decision you're going to make, you want to please someone. So that means you're not following your intuition. You're not following you. You are not the one.
You're not yourself.
You're not yourself. Okay. And that is a very bad thing. It destroys your destiny. It destroys many things, because you are in a place where you cannot decide for yourself. You are in a place where you cannot follow your intuition. You cannot follow what you're supposed to do. That means anyone can take you off guard, because for you want every time please people. That's why it is very fundamental. Then, like self-esteem which is healthy, you are confident enough. It even helps you make right decisions. It helps you trust your decisions. And no, if the decision has worked out or not, it has to, it builds you as an individual, because for you are confident enough. So self-esteem is very fundamental in all things. You can bargain if you know who you are, if you know your stand. You are able to bargain, either on a job, either in a relationship. You know, self-esteem helps you define boundaries in a relationship, for example. But you can never define your boundaries in a relationship unless you know your self-esteem. You will feel like someone has helped you to love you. They have, like they have helped you. So you know, you want to set boundaries. You won't recognize toxic relationships, unhealthy relationships, because for you, you cannot. You get. So you receive everything that comes. You get.
So you are a yes man.
Yes. Then you don't know what is good and bad for you. You cannot define what is best for you, and then you start to be people please. You are pleasing people because people. That is low
Now, do you
self-esteem.
think that when like okay, I'm going to ask into the into parts. Do you think that when people they know their self-esteem, that one can make like a nation to develop, or when they don't know that, when they don't know their self-esteem, that can maybe let the nation collapse?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course.
How?
Now, for example, an individual who doesn't know their self-esteem, if they are given a position, for example, in politics, those are people that are going to be corrupt. Those are people that are not going to stand on their decisions to do the right thing.
Okay.
You will find they are influenced by maybe the other superpowers. When I say superpowers, maybe some other person who is greater than them, because they don't trust their decisions. They are not confident enough. So you'll find that many issues arise because you are not confident enough to stand on your decisions. So that also draws back to the small things in the family, in the relationship, in raising children. So it is all self-esteem.
How can you build a child? From what age that a child can begin to develop a self-esteem? Let's say if you are a parent, how can you build?
I feel a child from 0 to 4.
By the way, does the parent also has that self-esteem if he's going also to put in a child, or he has to first possess it, then transfer it to
Of
the
course, you
child?
cannot give what you have, what you don't have,
Sure.
as a parent. That's why it is also important to talk to the caregivers and the parents, because many people have entered marriage when they are not healed. They don't know who they are. They don't know their worth, and that's why actually marriages are worse to many people, because they did not define their boundaries early. They did not define their worth early enough. They did not. They were not able to see which individual they are going in with. You get, because they did not have that self-esteem. They feel like they were helped into marriage. You get. So you should enter there when you know your worth, when you have set your boundaries, when you know what you are as an individual, such that when you reach there, you are able to still function in that way. When you are raising a child, I feel like I think one time I said it, as a parent, we play a very crucial role in our children's lives, because you must show them from early stages that they are worth it. Then, like I told you, there's what we call self-talk. There's what you can impart in a child's life by telling them how much you love them, by telling them they are wise, by telling them they are worth it. But these things, they should hear them first from their parents, from their caregivers.
Now, if like a parent never had any kind of a self-esteem, how can he or she transfer it to the child? And don't you think that child is really going to suffocate?
It's impossible. And that's why we have come out.
So how can that parent be helped before seeing the child?
Of course, it is very crucial because when we are dealing with these problems, we need to first find out the root cause, and then we have, because if we don't change the root cause, then we shall continue with the problem. So parents need to be engaged.
Viewers who are watching us, I just want to thank you so much for watching us, and this one brings us to the end of our program today. But when we come back, he will tell us how to help a parent who has never attained any self-esteem in himself, that also he can be helped and help other, only with the children. See you next time.